Yo, I mean, hey y'all, we back. That was weird. I got a thing on StreamYard that was like, Facebook is not connecting, it's not accepting the broadcast. But you say you just saw it on there, huh?
Yeah, I just saw it. You know, Facebook is the Meta now, so.
Oh yeah, yeah, the meta. So, all right, I'm not gonna make you do your 30-second commercial again, but I am gonna, unless you really want to.
I'm good.
You sure?
I am.
Okay, but I am gonna start. We're gonna start. I want to ask some questions. So like I said, I compartmentalize your work, as a dancer, and then an arts integration specialist, arts educator, and then this your advocacy, particularly, I call it pleasure advocacy, but I think that it's a broad term, right? So I'm interested in how you move through the phases, right? So first, if you could talk to us about like what does it mean for you as far as like your dance is concerned, and how does that get you to where you are in advocacy?
I guess dance and teaching is my first love. Like I said, like dancing has opened up many doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the connection I make with people, adults that I teach, and of course the kids that I teach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it I don't know, it through dance I have met so many people. I have developed so many relationships through dance, and it coincides with everything else. I think for me, dance is the connection I get with the community. Is the dance
Right.
that I make with the community, I make with individuals, is definitely the connection.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then what do you mean? Like when you say the connection, you like you being a performer and people enjoying your art, or do you mean like
I
networking?
think it's both teaching and performing. Of course, passion can be felt through a craft, through your artistry. So I feel like I connect that way. And then also interpersonal relationships with people through teaching dance. I think it's that connection there. I have, people that get back with me years later and has and has told me that dance has opened up, even though opened up themselves to so much. If it's feeling within, being inside their body, recognizing their feelings, or their emotions, or just anything within themselves, like being in my dance class has actually helped them opening up to themselves and other things. And I try to structure my dance classes to where like grounding people once they're in there, getting them present, getting them there. I bring into the classroom a lot of my spiritual tools. So I think that that connection there,
Well, you know,
from
I can't dance. I don't know nothing about this connection.
girl, you can
I
dance.
cannot
I
dance. I
see you
move. I move.
dance.
I move. You know what I mean? There's a
Yeah,
difference
you
between
you
somebody who
move, but your
moves.
hips be swinging. Your hips be swinging,
Girl, you
mama.
see, I got hips. What I
You know
did?
you
That's
got
how you know
hips.
she lying. That's how you know she lying. Tell me I got hips. Anybody who
You
know me know
got
I got no damn
hips.
hips.
You got a little
Oh,
thing.
you
You
mean
got a
that
little
area?
something.
The hip area be swaying. Oh, okay, I got you. I feel you. I felt what you're trying to say. Uh,
Well,
don't throw me out there like that. No, but no, I mean as far as, but I understand movement. You know,
mhm.
I understand movement, and I can understand why that would be something that I know when we use movement in theater, especially like in creative movement and playback and things like that. A lot of our stuff is stretching and moving and using our body as an action, as a way to communicate, as a way to converse.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I think that that's yeah, and I'm pretty sure other people understand that too. You know.
Mhm.
So when you say now, are you with a troupe? Are you with a performance group, or
I
do people
was,
commission your? Okay.
yeah, I've been with a plenty of dance groups in New Orleans. The last one I was with was a Haitian group,
Mhm.
where we would perform Haitian dances and Haitian dances and performances throughout the city.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, both of my mentors within that group transitioned. So within a
Mhm.
year apart, right? So with a year a year apart. So we're not together anymore. However, once you're in a dance community, whatever's going on, people invite you, y'all come together and do y'all thing. So I'm not technically in a group of as far as like being a member, but if somebody call and be like, I got this gig, I'm in that
Yeah.
group.
But you are still gigging. It's not like a
Yeah,
thing where you just
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Still gigging.
Yeah. Now, do you what do you like better? Dancing as a performer or dancing as an educator?
Definitely a performer.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What do you do most?
Education.
I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing. I think across like artists in general, like especially now, where you
Yeah.
gotta where it's about like survival and livelihood and things like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, like it makes sense.
I love teaching, but it's something about the stage or the lights or the crowd, the energy. It's something about the energy. And I guess because I haven't performed in a long time,
Mm,
because of the pandemic, to get back on that stage again,
yeah.
man, it's like, oof, I miss this.
I like students. I don't like teaching.
But you're a great teacher.
I know. I'm a phenomenal fucking teacher. I just
Yeah.
don't like the act. Like I don't like all of the stuff that has to be done before you can teach when you want to have like a real class.
Hmm.
Like, I don't like all of that stuff. I like to just go in and teach.
Yeah, I feel
I
that.
wish I feel like with all the lesson planning, I mean, you can do it, but it's not my
I hate
bag.
that part.
Yeah, I don't like all of that. I'm an artist. Like I don't want to sit down and type like
Exactly.
typing what I'm gonna do or what I hope they feel out this motherfucker. Don't know.
Yeah, and what you're gonna say.
Yeah, what I'm gonna say. I don't know. It's gonna be real different tomorrow. Like this is a lie. When I hand this to you, just know it's no longer true. It
Yeah,
stopped being true once I finished writing it. You're welcome.
yeah. You don't know what's gonna happen once you walk into that room.
Right. Right. Yo, so I was telling this lady, I told you I was going in and out of shops today, right? So I was telling this lady, that I have my YouTube talk show. You
Yeah,
know,
and it's not a little YouTube
you
talk
saw me
show.
stop. You
Hello.
saw me take it back, but
Okay.
I have
All
my
right.
little.
All
I got my.
right.
But when I say little about my stuff, it does. I'm not trivializing it. It's just kind of like how I talk. Like it's slang for me. Little, you know what I mean? Now, if I was to be like, oh well, I was doing this little. Now that's something different. But
Okay.
like, I got my little talk show, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's like when I say I got my little beat. It's all shit is popping.
Okay.
So, I was telling her about my show. And she was like, "Oh, what y'all gonna be talking about?" And I was like, "Well, she's an artist, and she's a costume designer, and she's this, and she's that, and she's this, and she's that." And she was like, "Oh, what doesn't she do?" I was like, "Oh, and I left this part out. She also, you know." But then I hit her with the. I was like, "Yeah," and she does this whole thing around like sensuality and black femme energy and all this other stuff. And she was like, what does that even mean? And I was like, ooh,
That's a good question.
yeah. But it's a good question, but it's also like clearly there's a market.
Yeah. You need some of that,
You
sis.
needs to know. So break it down for us. Tell us what it is that you do. What does that mean? What does it mean?
I just want to teach women, and it's not even really teaching women because we have it. It's just suppressed.
Right.
I just want to give women a space to explore the sensuality and sexuality of being a woman, because of course with society we always have to be pigeonholed into
Yeah.
one thing, and women are just multi dynamic, and to the extreme. It's not like she's a mother and she just does this a little bit. Like, no, she's a mother and a phenomenal mother, and she does this phenomenally. So it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I just want women to accept that. And I feel like sometimes when it's suppressed so much, like a woman wants to be told it's okay. to
Mhm.
be sexual, to be sensual, to explore that part. And I feel like a lot of health problems that women have is attached to not being able to be open and honest with their sensuality and sexuality.
I have so many thoughts, right? Um,
Because women are
oh,
even scared. Like sometimes women are even scared to discuss their menstrual cycle with their friends, with their own friends. But it's just trickled down from their mother, or like my mother, or their aunts. It trickles down from the women before us who wasn't okay with talking about whatever. I was just having this conversation with my friend, and I'm 40. I made 40 this year. I made 40 this year, and I was like, growing up, and when I was married, or when I was getting married, it was a thing to be a wife. But
yeah.
nobody really taught me how to be a wife. Like nobody taught me how to please my man. Nobody taught me how to even keep a husband. Like it was always trial and error. And I'm not saying the women before me had all the answers, but I feel like if the conversation was even just open, you know, um then a lot of things that I went into my marriage blindly, I would know. Even though
Mhm.
everybody's gonna walk their own path, I just feel like the conversations were never had. The conversations were never there. I mean, and that's just my personal.
No, yeah, I think it's one extreme or the other. I think like
Yeah,
you either come from a family where they talk about it all the time,
yeah,
right? Where it's like because they just are hyper aware that you're gonna have to know, or
mhm,
you're coming from one. Tamika said, "Feels so freeing just to say it's okay."
yeah.
Um, she owns a women's empowerment. Am I saying it right? Women's empowerment coaching company.
Ooh,
Correct me. I might be wrong. I'm hoping I'm not. I feel like that's what it is. Um, but what I was saying is like there's it's extreme, right? Like
mm-hmm,
you've got the ones who know too much too soon. I feel, and then
right,
the ones who are like the slow creepers,
mm-hmm,
Um, and I love that you're doing this laterally. You know
mm-hmm,
what I mean? Like on the peer level instead of like attempting to be a mentor. Like I don't need a sex mentor.
yeah.
But girl, does this lingerie look all right? Because I'm gonna go out here and
Send me the pictures.
do me.
Send me
Let
all
me
the
see. Let me
pictures.
see. Don't go out there until we have approved this
Exactly.
right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all of that.
Exactly.
Like, I even remember when people like I remember there was like a whole thing going around where like women were using like yogurt like in their vagina to like
Yeast
and
infections and stuff.
or like I saw a thing the other day just on TikTok where the lady was like, I was trying to show them how to wash how to wash your vagina and how to clean your coochie out, and she was like, I just go up in there and pull the stuff out, and I was like, what are you pulling out first?
Yeah.
And second, why? What you mean, girl? Ooh,
Her
I,
vagina mad at her.
I was like, how pussy is pissed, right? Like, he's mad. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you talking about?
Mad.
And yeah, I was like, hold on. But somebody should have told her that.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody should have told her that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fortunate. My mother, she's in social work, and then she also used to teach like sex ed and stuff like that at the YMCA. So you remember what I said? Some people know too much, and some people don't know enough.
You knew too much. My mom used to leave me the little pamphlets on the bed. We never had an open discussion, but those little books that
Yeah, 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 yeah,
leave them like on my bed or in the bathroom. So
yeah,
I knew, but it
yeah.
was never a conversation.
And as a woman who has feminine issues like fertility issues and
Hmm.
all this other stuff, not all this other stuff, but who has fertility issues, like I'm glad that we had these conversations because then I noticed when stuff wasn't right.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? You know? But I also think that, like, I was talking to this gentleman the other day, and he was talking about how, well, when women are too sexual, men put them in a category. And, you know, and I was like, okay, well, you're a man and you just said that out loud. Do you do that? Yeah, sometimes like subconsciously, I don't even think about it. Like you're just in a category, you know, like because this is just what we're doing, and you know whatever. And I was like, that's corny.
Yeah.
Like why? Like
Yeah. Like, I feel like we're all retraining what we learned before. We all retraining our minds. And yeah, you know, a lot of men do. Um, and then I feel like a lot of men are trying not to, like they're trying to change their way of thinking of what a woman's supposed to be, you
yeah,
know, or my wife is not gonna have this, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of men are doing the work, but they
Mhm.
still have some that's out there that's just still ignorant.
That was sweet of you. I understand.
Yes. We have
Yeah,
some out
there's
there
a
though.
balance. I
You
know
know,
there
we
are.
have some
There are
progressive
some
men
out
out
there. I'm
there.
not gonna say that they're not. You know,
Mhm.
but even like you know when you're dating, like I feel like you to find out late that like you have a hyper libido and that this person does not, like, and you're already a year invested in this thing and you've never had a conversation about it, or you know, not even a year, 3 months in this thing, 6 months in this thing, however you know long it takes you to bust that thing down. You know, it's like you should be able to ask up front if you're
Yeah.
in a committed relationship. How often do you see yourself, you know, wanting to get things going like in a week? You know what I'm saying? Are you like the type that
Yes.
can be cool off of once a week? Or are you somebody who needs 4 times a week? You know what I mean? Like, who are you?
Right. I
Who
think
are you?
I think no one is gonna say once a week, but in reality it'd be like once a week. Um
I mean, not that I don't know.
Not for me,
Not for, I don't have, I don't have, I'm not, I don't have context.
but yeah, I think
Maybe you mad. I be, never mind. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I think that open dialogue in the beginning is, I mean, it just sets the stage for everything else along the way, you know,
Hmm.
because people don't want to admit it, but sex does hold a lot of weight, you
It
know.
does as much as money.
Yeah, sex holds a lot of
People
weight
people
because
get divorced over money and sex.
money and sex.
Money
Yes,
and sex. I mean,
yes.
there's other things too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what we're talking about.
And I
Those
feel
are
like
the
people
main
need to
things.
be more honest about their sexual desires as well. Um,
Mm.
Women and men, you know,
Yeah,
you have to tell people what you want and what you like, and don't feel no type of way about it.
yeah,
And then we grown. Um,
yeah,
and I feel like the man should do the same thing. And I feel like if you both can have that honest conversation in the beginning, it'll probably just open up some other stuff. It probably open up to more exploring. And I'm here for all of them exploring.
yeah. Exploring
I'm
is fun.
here.
Johnny's is you know trying to tap into the feminine and masculine. She wants to make sure y'all know that there's space for. You know, she cares for both sides. She
Yes. I'm
cares for
not leaving my brothers
yeah.
out.
She's that. I appreciate that. Because today I'm not talking to them. No, I'm just kidding.
I,
I'm just kidding. But I'm just
you are.
joking.
You are.
I always am. I always am. I love, you know, I love men. I especially love black men. I'm raising
Mhm.
one. Hell. So, and I want him to be able to listen when a sister says, "You ain't Demarcus. Sit down. Give me my cervix back. These children." So you,
You could be a little nice in her delivery.
oh, these people have been on the show. If they haven't, they've talked to me in person before. They know already. But let me also say, so you host parties, you host events where you allow people to have relationship based conversations that incorporate kind of like mediation, um, sensual and sensory pleasure, as well as relationship building tips and tools and things. Right? Did I do that right?
You did it awesome. You did it better than me. I gotta use that. I gotta use that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't really say after pandemic, but when everything started lifting, right? And people were trying to get back into the swing of meeting new people because,
Yeah.
online dating is a thing, and people are starting to get back into the swing of things, and people just didn't know. They didn't know how to get back into that world or just have the open conversation. So I was like, people love to talk over food and
Mm,
weed and alcohol. So let's put those three things together. Bring some people over. So I will host these parties in my home
mm,
with 20 people, 20 to 25. 25 is the max. And I have a guest chef.
mhm,
And everything is about pleasure. It's called Pleasuring Your Palate. The name of my event is called Moaning at Midnight with Moon. My stage name is Io Moon. So it's Moaning at Midnight and Moon with Moon, and I have a guest chef, and all of the food relates back to the conversation about sexual pleasures and desires, even to where it's interactive. So people will feed each other, maybe somebody they came with, or maybe somebody they just met there. Feed each other, touch each other. And we talk about everything about sex, everything about sexual desires is open to anyone. So it's all walks of life in my home. And at the end of the night, and then I tell people to wear lingerie or some kind of cute little pajamas. Of course, I usually have my sexy
you
lingerie on. Of
you
course,
left that out every time you've invited me, just so you were
that is
clear.
a lie.
You've left that part out.
That is a lie.
No. I thought people were voluntarily just showing up to your house in their drawers. I didn't know that it was like a thing you asked them to do. I've
No,
never
because
gone.
it has to be easy on the eyes too. And then that's another thing, like we so caught up in how we look. And how we look to other people, like, man, put your sexy shit on and come through, and let's talk about sex, our sexual desires, our sexual needs, how to even hold a conversation with someone that you're interested in or that you want to pursue more sexual encounters with, and let's talk about it. And then at the end of the night, we have a burlesque show with me, and I usually invite another burlesque dancer to perform. It's a night full of, when you
Do you
leave, you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna probably carry the conversation outside of my home to within your own circle. That's what I hope. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping you have sex that night. Some good
No,
sex that night.
I'm hopeful for that everyone is having sex at night.
Yes,
Tonight,
after.
tomorrow night. I on my behalf. I have a question though. Like, do you feel like people when they come to these events that they are already kind of part of that? Like they already, because for me, right, like I'm someone who's not necessarily like inhibited or like afraid of my femininity or yeah, don't really have those issues.
Mhm.
But I'm also not necessarily the type of person that's going to come in a room of 25 people and be in my lingerie, right? You know what I mean? Like I know in myself, right? So do you think that there is like the people who come, that they're kind of they've already decided that they're comfortable in that way? Like in those, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how would you get someone like me, not me, but someone like me to consider like, okay, this part, this
Mhm.
breaking it into pieces, this part is out of my comfort zone. Oh, I could sit and eat and talk about sex.
Right.
But I don't know if I could sit and eat and talk about sex in front of 25 people in my drawers.
Right. I have a lot of people that come through that even talking about sex is like over their head, especially talking to sex with strangers. I have a lot of people that come that are very conservative, and it takes them a while to open up. But I think once they see everyone else is open, like really sharing, then they get kind of comfortable. They might not get totally comfortable. However, they do get a little comfortable where they feel like sharing or even asking questions. So, and then sometimes most of the people in there I know, so I call people by names. I do single people out, but they're game. They're game to it. And I think if you come, so if you know me and you come to my event, you're gonna be like, okay, I gotta at least talk. I gotta at least talk. So I think even if they came and they're more conservative, I think they still lead with something, even if it's just being open, even if it's just learning how to have conversations about sex or around sex, with strangers. But yeah, people come all the time that are like,
Yeah, I mean, I think I consider myself to be conservative, to an extent.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think that's not a true, that's not a lie, right?
Mm-hmm. It's
Public,
like borderline, like you kind of like on a tightrope walk.
yeah, like I can have this
wind could blow your arm.
conversation. Yeah, I can have this conversation right here, right now, and and I'm not afraid to say certain words and but like that's kind of like conceptually, I'm cool, but like in the way of things,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
I had my ass out in front of 25 people. I don't know.
You can wear a robe.
So what about the food?
So
how do you incorporate the food?
So I'm a graduate of Dillard University, DU represent. And Dillard used to
Black
have
folk in the HBCUs.
I'm sorry,
the illustrated
homecoming this weekend. DU represent, baby. We have homecoming this week. Anyway, we used to have something called midnight breakfast, and so I brought that back with Moaning at Midnight. So technically the chef is supposed to do their rendition of a midnight breakfast, and that's how we come up with the menu.
But is the menu specifically tied to the idea of like seduction or pleasure? Like how are you?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. One of the topics was textures, because the chef that I had didn't really like certain textures. So a lot of her food, her menu that she had was different textures, but textures that she enjoyed. So it was like a shout out to Naila Smith, Chef Lala.
What up, Chef Lala?
And one of her meals were a tofu. And so instead of shrimp and grits, it was tofu and grits, and sauteed tofu and grits. And it was the texture of the.
I didn't know Lala did that. I thought that was the couple.
She's a chef.
No, I know she's a chef. I didn't know she did the party. I thought it was a couple.
Oh, yeah.
That must have been a different night.
Yeah.
So she started you out. Okay.
No, she did the second show. She did the second show. Yeah. So so the textures was about, like one of them was the grits, and the texture of grits, and what are some textures that you like in the bedroom? What are some textures that you like on your skin, but not necessarily in your mouth? And so we had conversations around that. Yeah, they have some textures that you like in your mouth.
No, I'm thinking like, what are textures that I like on my skin, but I don't like in my mouth?
So for me, like, I hate things that when you bite into it, it gushes all in your mouth, like jelly rolls and all that stuff, like the gusher stuff.
I'm also super immature.
But I
I'm like 12 years old.
I like the gushy, on my skin. I could do that on my skin, just not in my mouth. Next question.
Because I was like,
don't do me, not tonight. Look at the comment section. Y'all know Miriam. Y'all know how she do. She just opened the door, walked to me, and then was like,
I don't like couscous. That's what I was thinking. You talking about gushers and shit. I was talking about couscous. I didn't know if I'd ever had the texture of couscous on my skin. But I don't like it in my mouth. I can't stand the texture of couscous. It makes me like.
I'm not a fan of couscous either.
I don't like, but I guess maybe exfoliator scrub would be the couscous equivalent. Could it be the couscous? I'm trying to figure out how does we do. Shut up, Lacey. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I went to this thing one time, and it was it was a dinner, and it was all about like food, the aphrodisiac dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, they had chocolate wine,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, it was good. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
like if you, I don't know if the food actually was supposed to turn you on, but definitely the fact that you were there eating it and in the way that it was being presented, and like, the ambiance and all that stuff that
Yeah.
was going on. If you didn't get laid that night, like it's unfortunate, and you probably should like leave the person you're with, because they just not gonna get no ass. But
Yeah.
like,
I love when couples are in the room, because they get to share, especially married couples, because they get to share their experience. And I have a lot of singles in the room, and
mm,
ever so often I'll get two couples that are either married or just together, and
yeah.
I like to get their input on it.
And
And
that was what I was, that's
mhm,
what I was getting at. It was like, and it was also dope because it was a shared experience. Like we
yeah,
went there under the mindset of we're gonna eat this food and it's gonna get us right, and we're gonna go home and get right. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Um,
that's my
but
wish.
as a single person, huh?
I say that's my wish.
I'm sure that's what you do.
I say that's my wish for the people that's there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure that's what you
Mhm,
do. I'm sure
yeah.
they go home and they are feeling good. I think. Have you ever been unsuccessful at anything? Right. It's not a thing we do.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
I mean, I
I'm
have some
sure that's
things that I
exactly
wasn't
what it
successful
happened.
with, but yeah, yeah, yeah,
You have hiccups, but you fix them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
yeah.
sure that that's the thing that you do. But I was
Facts.
just saying, like, so, and the reason I brought that up is because it was just that, though.
Hmm.
Like, it was just the thing, it only centered on the phone. So I'm wondering how you layer in these other very large, I would say large, um, yeah, how do you bring in these other layers, right? Because first you've
Hmm.
got this meal. Like, what if someone wanted to come, or somebody was interested in participating, or wanted you to come and possibly host this, for them somewhere else? Because that, whatever. What is it that they're actually expecting? How does it actually work? Like, is it like a certain? Is it broken down into time frames? Or?
Yeah, so I send people an invite, and just explaining what I want them to wear, how I want them to feel. They have to be here at a certain time. And then I have like a schedule of what goes on. It's all about the experience for me. So it's definitely the lighting in the room. Um, I was just doing regular smells, and then a really good friend of mine,
Me?
you,
I did
was-
something. What did I
your
do?
really good friend of mine was like, you should try to create some scents that
Oh yeah,
will
of
arouse
course I
people,
said that.
and I was like, that's a great idea. So I definitely did that. Um,
What did you settle on? What scents do you use? Like, what is it? What
it
is
was
the?
like a lavender, sandalwood,
Oh,
and something else. Lavender, sandalwood. I forgot the other one. But it's just some oils I mixed. I burned them and I sprayed them like around on the sofas and the
that
seats
sounds
and
good.
stuff like
Yeah,
that. Something just, I just want people when they hit the door, they be like, dang, this is sexy. I want them
yeah.
to see it sexy. I want them to feel sexy when they hit the door. That's
You
my
know what a smell that I think is the sexiest thing is it can be done two ways. It's either cedar and vanilla or teak wood and vanilla.
I love cedar and vanilla.
Do y'all have any favorite sexy scents? What smells do y'all like? Yeah, I love those like woodsy sweet
Hmm. I'm the same.
every time.
Hmm.
Every time. I think that's why I like Christmas so much.
Yeah, Christmas have all the good scents. I was
Yeah.
just in all the stores today trying to hide, like, don't buy nothing. Don't
You know
spend
I
any
got
money.
just vanilla, Naja, not vanilla mixed with anything. Musk.
Mm.
I do like, I used to like musky stuff. You know, there's a smell. It's called oh shit, bak bak bak. Oh, I'm gonna think of it. I'm gonna think of it. But I smelled it the other day at a there's a candle. Oh no, the mahogany teakwood candle, girl.
The husband
That's a
candle.
grown ass man candle. That candle. That's like sexy man with a job,
Ooh,
401k. He got a
come
truck
through,
and he
come
got a
through.
car. Yeah, he got he talks shit, you know, at dinner and he's sweet at night.
Mm,
That's mahogany teakwood.
that's mahogany
That's
teakwood.
mahogany teakwood. That
I
shit.
gotta get on that.
Oh, and there's another one. It's called like it's bourbon. I just bought one for somebody. Oh, it's called bourbon something. That thing smelled like. I opened that thing up in the Marshalls and was like,
Look right here. Look right here. I
it's
mean,
smelling.
but Crystal's description smells like a sexy man with a job. I think
Yeah,
everybody had that. We already know what that
yeah.
smell. We
You already
everybody had
know what
that
it
in their
smells like.
mind.
Ooh, the kind you can take home to mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
yeah. I have an oil called sorbet that I love too. You know what? I'm like a hardcore old school 90s, grew up in the 90s as far as like high school age. Cause I still like some of the Victoria's Secrets, like Pure Seduction and like, you know, like I used to wear my mama's Rapture. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
that's childish.
I'm childish as fuck. I told you I was immature. Bow, 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 bow.
Rapture was the bop, though. I ain't gonna lie. That
Rapture
thing
was
bumping.
it had you smelling like you were 25 ready to go to the club and you were
Yes,
16.
yes,
I don't know what I
indeed.
was doing in high school in high school smelling like Rapture. I know my teachers were like, this got to be your mama shit.
Right, she on.
She know too much.
Exactly.
She know too much. Dead ass out here spritzing that love spell. Love spell.
Oh,
Everybody
love
wore.
spell.
You know, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't actually
It's
have love spell
teenage
right now in my
dreams, love
house.
spell.
I do still have love spell in my house, but I can't wear it by itself. I have to mix it with something. The smell is very clear.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
That brought back all kind of teenage memories.
Oh, with the Sergios and the Parasucos and the we were foolish and fine. I don't know what these with the big skinny hoop earrings and the Japanese cherry. If somebody say cucumber melon, I'm closing the I'm closing the chat. I'm closing the chat. It's done.
I think my daughters have Japanese cherry blossom.
I have Japanese cherry blossom.
Yeah, they had to
My
bring that
son,
one back. They had to bring that one back.
yeah, my son sprays that on his pillow.
Oh,
I don't know. He's cute.
yeah.
I don't know. He likes to smell good. He told his father they went shopping and he told his daddy he needed cologne, right?
And do.
He's 7. So I told my father, he told his father he needed cologne. So I came home. Mind you, when his father comes in town, I go stay out. I do my staycation while his daddy's at home, right? So, or his daddy's here, not at home. He's here visiting. And so I came home, went into the bathroom, and there was men's cologne in my cabinet. And I was like, pause, sir. Never in the world, never will we do this type of blocking. Not going. I
He
took a
have his own
picture.
little setup in his room
Oh
now.
yeah, but I took a picture
Okay.
and I sent. I was like, I know you ain't leave your cologne here. Da, da, da. He was like, that's Josiah's. I was like, what? I mean, first I felt dumb and I had to apologize. But second, I was like, Josiah got cologne. He was like, yeah. He said he needed to smell good, and it smells like it's a righteous smell. Like it's actually like a good smell and stuff. But I
Mm-hmm.
put it in a drawer because he's 7 and he can have it back when he's like 12.
Right
If
now, I'm teaching pre-K through 2nd grade, and anytime my boys, like first graders, they have their cologne, because when first graders put cologne on, it smells
they
up
put
half the room.
right,
But I
are they
always
really
make
letting
a
their kids come to
point.
school with cologne on?
Yeah, but I always make a point to be like, man, you smell good, and they be like, like, yeah, I know, Mama J. I know I smell good. I love it though. I love it. Hey, they have to smell
I
good too.
mean, if we're rearing these children to be, whatever, fine, I guess. I
They
don't
could
know.
do
Oh, but
it.
I tell you, I was at the grocery store, and the security guard at the Robes that works on Wednesdays, I only know because it was a Wednesday, so I feel like he has to work on Wednesdays because he was there.
Mhm.
He smelled like,
Ooh.
wow, make you want to steal something.
Run after
I
me.
was like, I won't run too fast. No, I mean, he smelled so good, but it wasn't like a strong, nasty smell. It was like he happened to be standing, yes, on Wednesdays. He happened to be standing next to the fruit, and I leaned in to get some fruit, and I was like, I had to stay there for a second. So I feel like man smell, and it wasn't like a perfumey smell. It was like man smell. It was like, it just smelled like masculine. He just smelled like a whole grown ass man. I should have asked him what he was wearing.
Yes.
So I could buy it and pass it out. You get one. You get one.
Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy birthday. I'm for it. I'm for it now.
I'm here to help the people. I'm here for that. All right. I got to ask you some questions because, one of the things that I do is we like to bring it down and to have conversations about who you actually are and what you are feeling outside of your work, because you're not just your work, right? Even though I feel like your work is so personal, it's probably very
tied in.
Would you say we go back on Wednesday and ask? I mean, Wednesdays are a great day to go grocery shopping. I find it's the middle of the week. You're normally out of things. Maybe I will.
Noted. Wednesday.
And he was like big and cute. You know how I like. He was. Never mind. I was about to say something else that's gonna get me canceled. Cancel culture. You can't cancel me. I ain't got more than 300 views yet. Not on one video. All right. I want to play word association. You know how to play word association?
Tell me.
I give you a word, and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear it.
Okay.
So I'm going to use an online word association generator. So I don't know what these words going to be, what they going to say. All right?
Okay.
Because you just pushed the button. All right. First word, diesel. I feel like that's an easy start.
1990 BMW.
That was hella specific.
No, not BMW, Mercedes Benz.
What happened to you in a 1990 Mercedes Benz?
I used to date this guy around 95 who drove a BMW, and it wasn't one of those cars that you could just crank up and go. Like, it was a diesel, so you had to turn it off, crank it up, So yeah.
This game might be interesting. Might be interesting. All right. Pulse.
Say that again.
Pulse.
Dance.
Electricity.
Heighten.
Clarify.
Just the height of electricity. I guess I'm thinking once I did dance, going electricity, I'm just like the energy, the vibration just heightened.
Okay. I'll let you have. Okay.
We got a replay?
No, we don't got to replay. Alternate.
Okay. Alternate. Other.
Grass.
Grounded.
B. BEE.
Honey.
Thunder.
Inside.
Y'all can answer these too. Dream.
Forever.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Caterpillar.
Butterfly.
Paint.
Red.
Do you think there's a such thing as perfect?
No.
Why not?
Because I always find that thing. That thing.
So are you speaking specifically in the context of people and humans?
Yeah. Speaking of humans.
What if we think broadly?
Yes.
There
There
is.
is a
What
such
is it?
thing as perfect. I'm still on the podcast.
Just so I can come in for part of it.
Girl, look how she
I know mine is doing the same thing. He asked if he could come on too.
just come bombard everything. Like, but
Mine's
you
been
said,
sitting here under the bed with his headphones waiting on me to tell him it's okay to come.
Jasira, I am.
Hey Jasira, Josiah, you can come now. You can come now. Jasira's here. Jasira and Josiah. And look, they're a week apart, right?
Yeah, Lord.
Aren't they a week apart? Are they a week? It's a week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, March 13th.
Come on, Jasira's here. You can say hey now. He's been coming in and out. That's why I've been doing like this on the side.
No, she bust in here talking about, are you ready now? But you said I could come on the podcast.
Just for
Right.
you to know, I've been in the basket beside my bed.
Just wanted y'all to know he's been in the basket beside his bed.
Mhm.
Come on.
Are you done?
So what's it like? Let's end on this note.
Mhm.
Mommy's at work. Mommy's in business. You've got 3. I've only got 1.
Mhm.
How you doing it?
Also, she can't even handle one kid, and that's me.
I always say parenting doesn't come with a handbook. We're building the plane as we fly it. But we wouldn't have it any other way. We just do it.
Yeah. I actually was talking to, I gotta tell you what happened. So there's this sister. When you hear this, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna blow up. You might not be mad, but you're gonna feel away.
47 minutes.
So there's this sister, right? I used to work with her. And
47 minutes. 47 minutes. 40.
he's doing really good with learning his time and things. So
No, I can see it right here.
I know that, but you read it the right way. Can you give me a second though? I'm trying to tell a story.
No.
You want me to put you back out?
No.
So this girl, right? She's, she worked running an organization or doing her best to run an organization. Young, don't eat no more of that candy. Don't eat no more of that candy. Trying to run this organization where she new mom, all this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, she's trying to change, what she's doing and going in a different direction and deciding she wants to stay home and be with her son more. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I also recognize that there were some issues with the work she was doing prior to deciding to go out, and that those issues were discussed, amongst people who needed to know, like the board and all that other stuff. And so I said to her, to protect your child, to protect you and your child and your livelihood for whatever you decide to do next, you need to get in front of what could be, honest but negative conversations about who you were as somebody who worked and ran this thing, whatever. And the only reason, and she asked me like, well, who said what? And I was like, well, I don't know if it's really important who said this, but this person said it. And the only reason I'm telling you that they said it is because this is the position that they're in. And this person said it. And I'm only telling you because, whatever. But, I'm like, these are just things you need to know. So move with caution and be careful about what you say, and, whatever, like, because I have old heads that did that for me, right? They put me on and they told me how to manage it. Yeah. They looked out. So, I tell her all this stuff and I'm like, look, but at the end of the day, my biggest concern is your well-being, especially when it comes to the baby.
Yeah.
Because ain't nothing worse than being out here and not having no options or having to struggle fight because, with a youngin', right? Especially a new youngin'. So I get a phone call like, a couple days later or whatever. And it's one of the people who I told her had said, whatever they needed to say or whatever they said. And him, this, going off in my phone. And do you know she came to me talking about you need to keep my name out your mouth. And Miriam told me you said this. And Miriam told me you said that. And da 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 da. And I was like, well, I did tell her the things you said. You did say them, but I didn't tell her in a way that I thought she would ever handle it like this. Mm-hmm. Right? Like for me, this was one of those things you keep close, you keep on your chest. You know what I'm saying? You like, and then also when somebody is putting their ear to the ground for you and somebody's looking out for you, you don't send mess to their door. You don't send drama to their door. It's a code. Mm-hmm. But I'm realizing like I don't want to say younger generation. She's younger. I don't want to say younger generation, but I feel like there was a hiccup somewhere where like code doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. It doesn't exist. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I feel the work, and then she was like, well, because I said something to her. I was like, why would you do that? Oh, you backpedaling now? No, I'm not saying I never said that what they were saying about you was a lie. They're telling the truth about you. I'm just trying to say that you need to get in front of it.
Back, right? Yeah. That's what people saying,
right? Like I think you misunderstood what I was saying because you came at them like they were lying. They're not lying. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the thing. But I'm thinking like, dang. Especially as parents, you have to be very strategic in the way that you move. In the way that you speak to people and the way that you handle conversations, because if your stuff get taken away, it's not just you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just you.
Yeah.
And the way they've taken people's kids from them and doing all this, I wouldn't know imagine. I can't even wrap my mind around the thought of somebody coming and taking Josiah away because I ain't had no money or because, we're homeless or whatever, like whatever the extreme idea is. Right. But it's changed me. Motherhood has changed the way that I operate in business. Like stupid stuff that I did before I had my son. I wouldn't even. Like the arguments I might have walked into, the conflict I might have walked into.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say. I've been sued 4 times since I had Josiah. This might be the second time I've said that publicly. Because what's the point? I'm gonna go and tell everybody this person, she lying. I know she lying. They know she lying. I didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? But but it changed the way. And I like to fight. I'm not afraid of conflict. You know what I'm saying?
Kids change. They change you as a person, a woman, and they make you just move strategically. Because people looking at you, but they're also looking at how you raising your kids. They judge you, but they judge your kids too. So yeah, I definitely understand that.
And to go back to what we were talking about before about like pleasure and women and femininity and stuff like that. That's another thing too. Like I had to start being consciously more feminine. Because I was walking around here holding my nuts. You know what I'm saying? For real.
You still hold your nuts. No, I feel you.
Not in the way that I used to. I've softened a lot for the purpose of letting him see the distinction between a woman that is allowed to be soft and feminine. And even, he doesn't necessarily see me when I'm meet the people that I'm dating, but even around like his father or other people, like allowing them to do things for me or, stuff like that, so that he can also see that like that he should not glorify the strength in a woman if he decides he wants to be with her. Like he needs to, yes, she can be strong, but also there's like a balance to that.
Yeah.
So that he changed me in that way too. He's made me softer. I think he's made me sexier. For real. And not in a weird way. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel what you're saying. I guess for me, because I didn't have those conversations with my mom, I have the conversations with my daughters. the thing about raising free mind children that could critical think and think for themselves and just have this broader perspective of life is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You raising these free kids and they whip it on you,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so that's my thing, especially with the teenagers, things that I've taught them, like, they question that, and I want them to a certain degree, because that could like bite me in the ass. But it is a double-edged sword raising, free thinking kids, because
Yeah.
they whip that shit back on you, and you have to question yourself, and you know give them their props too, to even catching the things that they catch. And that's not easy for a parent. Well, it's not easy for me, but I do believe in apologizing and addressing those things with your kids.
Yeah. I mean, I apologize when
Mm-hmm.
I make mistakes with Josiah. I apologize. I think it's really important that he knows that he has the space to one. I have the space to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day, he said something. I had picked up the wrong hoodie or something. I can't remember what it was. And he was like, ha 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 ha. And I was like, what's so funny? He was like, just a reminder, you're my mom. And I was like, what does that mean? And my mom can make mistakes. And
Oh.
I was like, that was extra.
You don't want to hear it.
That was extra. Like, you didn't have to do. I mean, you should have heard the way he laughed. Threw his head
Oh,
back.
I already know.
I'm like, for real, all of that.
He made you feel it.
Yeah, he had me feeling like his teacher. Remember that lady? Just like good for her, is my feelings. But I was like, dang, But I would say, that whole parent piece, like even I'm dating, and I'm doing a lot of like the online stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easier. It's just, it's like in your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like Bumble. I like Bumble.
Did I do Bumble? I think I was on Bumble.
I was on Plenty of Fish, but I'm on Bumble now. Bumble.
I think I did Bumble. I didn't do Plenty of Fish, but I did Bumble.
I like Bumble because it gives you like those like little like questions you can ask, and like you don't see the answers until you both have answered it, and you see the answers at the same time. I like that. It's cute. It's got little things. I like Bumble.
Bumble has a good selection too.
Bumble, it's been cute. It's been cute. But yeah, there's a I forgot what I was about to say. I started thinking about Bumble. Because I met a couple cuties on Bumble, huh?
Well, I was gonna ask you, like, you're dating, and you have.
Oh, go ahead. I forgot.
So you're dating, and like, how long does it take you to introduce your son to someone you're dating?
Oh, I've been dating. I dated somebody for 2 years who never met my son.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about time. It's about commitment.
I agree.
It's not about Yeah, you have to show me that you've decided you want to be around and be consistent, because he'll hold you to it more than I will.
Yeah.
I let things slide every once in a while because for heartstring reasons, but he's not gonna do that.
And what about like male friends, like platonic friends? You let your son meet your male friends? And I'm only asking because I just started, like, within the
What do you mean meet?
Like, just not like this person is coming over.
My male friends don't hang out. Like they don't hang out at my house. Like they hang out at my phone.
I'm just saying, like, male platonic friends.
I don't have like I don't kick it with my male platonic friends.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Like enough that that's anything I would even have to think about. And thinking about that out loud right now, like it's the first time I think I've ever like put that together. But I don't hang out with my dudes.
Okay.
We just talk. Like I check in with them, they check in on me, and we talk. We laugh, we kiki, and then, or if we do see each other, it's at like an event. And most of the time, he's not allowed to be at the event. Most of the time, it's like a child-friendly event. So no. Now when I had my shop, guys would come by that knew me, and by default they would meet Josiah because he was in my shop. But it felt to Josiah they were just customers.
I got you.
They were just clients. They weren't people that he knew or he needed to know. And the few, like Josiah used to have we used to have a trip around the sun party every year for his birthday and Mother's Day. And because his father, his birthday is one of his father's holidays. And so since it falls so close to Mother's Day, we put it together.
Gotcha.
And like fathers would bring their kids, but Josiah would only associate them to their children.
Okay.
Never to me. So I don't think we've ever had that. But I would tell you it would probably be the same way.
Yeah.
Like they would have to be my homeboy Geronimo. G probably the only dude that's like been around and come to the house and like, I feed him and just I know him as Uncle G. Like he's the people, But even G, I might have knew Geronimo 3 years before he came to my house.
Yeah.
I'm very I don't really like people at my house.
Well, like for me, I only started introducing the girls within the past year to like friends that will come over, like platonic friends. Like I'll have people come over to eat or just to hang out like on the bayou or things like that. And I just started introducing them as my friend.
Yeah.
Because I was uncomfortable and I didn't know how to navigate that, as a single mother, and not necessarily single, like I'm single and don't have help, but as a mother with girls that it's not in a relationship, it was just hard for me to like figure that out. Like, how do I introduce them as a friend? But then I was talking to a male friend of mine who has 3 kids of his own. And he was like, our kids need to see us have relationships with people, even if it's just friendships. Like they need to see that even though you're single, you're not attached, you still have friends. And the way he said it just kind of like opened up some things for me to where it's like, I want them to know me completely. I don't want to hide part of me, which I do some things, but like, of course, people I'm dating, they've never met except for friend now. But
look at that.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I feel like he
wouldn't.
sees me with friends, like he knows y'all, like he knows my homegirls and stuff. Like he knows.
Yeah, I'm talking about opposite sex.
Nah, we don't. Nah, I'm good on it. Now, Josiah notices things. Like he'll notice, like if because he used to play on my phone before he got his own phone. He used to have my phone all the time. So if he saw somebody's name or number pop up, more than a couple times, he'd be like, he called his dad and be like, Mama got a boyfriend, because for some reason he thinks his dad care, and he don't. So that type of thing, he call and be like, well, Mommy, she can't talk to you right now. She got to go call her boyfriend. You do stuff like that. But as far as like, I also, for me, Josiah is just 7.
Mm-hmm.
So he just got old enough to be able to really tell me if somebody said something to him that made him uncomfortable or, put him in a way, and that was one of my biggest things was like, I want to be sure that at any given time, if somebody does something that makes my baby uncomfortable, he can articulate it to me so I can bust off,
Yeah.
So he's just getting at that age, and still now he still has some difficulty trying to find words, from time to time. But I know that there was a guy that I dated once. This was like a year ago, and he just kept asking me about Josiah. Like I feel like he asked about him too much. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, "You're not dating Josiah. Why you keep asking me about Josiah? You asking too much. I don't like."
Yeah, uncomfortable.
It's one thing to be like, "How's your baby doing?" Or "How's Josiah?" Like to be cat. Just because you want to tell the lady you talking to, you want to let her know you care or whatever. But it was like, what did he eat today? Like it was weird shit, and I was like,
I'm a
Nah,
pass. You a hard pass.
and he was big. Like, he was big as shit. Like, he was like 6'8", 380 pounds. Like, I'd had to kill him. I'd had to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't fight him. So I was like, nah, we're not even bringing you around. I'm not even gonna let you.
Right.
There's just, you know, so I'm very cautious. And the other thing is, you know, boys, like, across the board, you know, when children are assaulted, right? Obviously, it's definitely a trauma. It's a trauma. But I have found working with children, especially working in juvenile detention centers and stuff like that, that the boys, the process of admitting it,
Mm-hmm.
like, I know we focus on the girls a lot, and we should. We need to focus on all the children. But I find that the boys really struggle for a very long time. And they just are not as strong as the girls. They're not that I want girls to be strong. I'm just saying, like, there's an innate, you know, there's also a large push to comfort and save and protect girls.
Yeah.
And there's not so much one for boys. And so seeing boys go through that, like, I'm hyper protective of Josiah.
I feel that.
You know, like, I have a friend, like Josiah, you know, like, even if I'm cool with you and Josiah might have been able to hang out with you or whatever before, if I find out you hang out with somebody I don't fuck with, he don't come. He can't come to your house no more. Not unless I'm there.
Yeah.
I'll have you meet me out, or I'll take the kids to go somewhere, but I'm not gonna let him stay at your house or kick it anymore if I know in my mind that person I don't bang with is gonna be there. You know, especially if I've ever heard them, you know, if I don't like the way they talk to their kids, or, you know what I'm saying? Because that matters too. Do I like the way you talk to your kids? Now there's a guy, one of the guys I met on Bumble. I like him a lot, and one of the reasons I like him so much is, like, he has full custody of his children, and I was like, why? And he said, because the mother argues and the relationship is too volatile. Her current relationship is too volatile. And the idea of his boys trying to protect her and something happening to them, or this man putting their hands on them or something like that, he said, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, I liked that. It was something, like, it moved me a little bit, like, yeah, protect the kids. Like, he was like, you know, he doesn't want, protect the kids. And he was like, you know, I was like, do you have help? Not really. But, like, it's either have my kids in a situation where there's, you know, negative energy around them constantly, or bring them to me.
Yeah.
Like, if we continue talking, I'll probably let him meet Josiah sooner rather than later. If we keep talking, you know, if it continues to go the way that it's going.
Mm-hmm.
I like the decisions that he's made for his own children.
It makes a difference.
And I like the way he speaks about his children. Now, that's another thing, you know.
Oh, I know.
But men with daughters, rough.
I watch everything. I watch how they talk about the mother of their children. I watch how they talk to their mom or about. I watch everything.
No, I mean, like, men who have daughters.
Oh yeah,
that's rough. Dating a man with a daughter. Them girls, if you don't get the yes, fuck it, let it go.
I know.
Let it go. If baby girl don't give you the yes, don't even fight it.
I got the yes.
I'm glad you got the yes.
I got the yes.
I'm glad you got the yes. I know plenty of people who ain't get the yes, and they sitting there struggling.
It's rough.
Let it go.
It's rough, child.
She's going to win.
Every time.
Every time. She should win. Now, if she doesn't win, then you got a whole nother problem on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Facts.
But I'm trying to make, you know, now when I am dating, you know, the work is changing a little bit. Things are different, you know, here and there, whatever. Like, I'm trying now to, like, be very, like, get my nails done every 2 weeks.
I like those sets.
You like these?
Yay.
They're cute.
A little razzle dazzle.
A little razzle dazzle. I went to what was I about to tell you? Oh, the lady, I gotta tell you when we got off the phone, the lady who did my feet this time, she did a bomb job. They're so good. I'm never going anywhere else. Anyway, that's our time.
Thank you for having me on. It was
Oh no, like I appreciate you for being here. And so this is where I make you have the screen and you tell everybody where they can find you, what you have coming up next, and if they need to book you, how they can book you. All right.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at JMoonfruit or I Got Designs Global. I have, we're currently working on Josephine, which is the New Orleans Opera Association that's here in New Orleans. We're doing costuming for the one-woman show of Josephine. That's coming up in January. The beginning of January is like the 4th, 5th, 6th. We have our African print fanny packs that's making a comeback after a 2-year hiatus. That will be up on our website within the next couple of days. We just fixed up another bunch, so that's coming up. And you can always find me on moon_I.o. That is my burlesque page. moon_I.o. And also Moaning at Midnight with Moon on Instagram. So J Moonfruit on Instagram, I Got Designs Global on Instagram, Moaning at Midnight with Moon on Instagram, and moon_I.o for my burlesque page, and anything sexy or sensual, you can find that on that page. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this talk. Looking forward to connecting with all of you. And thanks again.
You're one of my faves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna end the broadcast.
See ya.
We don't have going out music.